Yeah, cool. So I thought it would be fun to go back in time and remind ourselves how we used to code back in 1995-ish. So welcome.
Teach yourselves, 'cause I was never there.
Or teach yourselves. Neither was I, to be honest. I was 6 years old back then, so I should have called it like 2005, but let's go with 1995. So yeah, my wonderful word art powered presentation by me and Clippy. Actually, we won't see Clippy because he was from 1996, so a year later. Yes. So let's start with planning. Let's say we want to make a website, so we should probably plan it. So Agile wasn't around. Agile was 2001. We had Scrum. Well, Scrum came out in 1995. XP came a year later. The only thing we had was waterfall. But nobody likes waterfall, so let's just skip planning. Let's just not bother with it because, quite frankly, most of the websites didn't really bother with any sort of planning. Moving on to, we need an IDE to code it in. So the choice we have is Vi, Emacs, Notepad, Vim, Pico, or Acme, or Borland C++. A collection of them is on the screen. We didn't have NetBeans. NetBeans was 1996. Eclipse was 2008. No Text Wrangler. I don't know if anybody remembers that. I used to use Text Wrangler. That was 2008 as well. No, 2003. Interestingly, the Vermeer front page, which later became the MS Microsoft front page, was around. It came out in November 1995. So you could use that if you wanted to. The browser choice was pretty poor back then. We basically had IE version 1, IE version 2, or Netscape 2.0. That was the only choice we had. Nothing else existed. Yes. So that was pretty much the only choice we had.
You had Mosaic as well at that point.
Yes, yeah. But like the main ones were like IE and Netscape. That was it. So programmers before 1997 were geniuses because Google was released in 1997. Stack Overflow wasn't around, obviously. That was 2008, so much later. But fear not, if we get stuck, we can Google on Alta Vista or Lycos. So let's get to it. Let's make a website. So see what language options we have in 1995. We have HTML 2.0. We just about have PHP because PHP was released in, let me double check, 25th of November, 1995. It was a PHP FI, so Personal Homepage Interpreter Personal Homepage Form Interpreter /Form Interpreter. If we assume we are coding it in December, we have JavaScript, because JavaScript came out in December 1995. Let's assume that. And CSS wasn't around. It came out a year later in 1996. So first things first, we got to put the under construction GIF. I think if I click that, yeah, it moves. So we got to put that GIF first. First things first. Then we need some layouts. So we need to obviously go for Framesets. This doesn't, didn't come out as well here, but yeah, this now has Framesets in it, which means like 2 more HTML files because back then obviously you just operated on .html files. And then I think modern websites are just boring because they're all black and white with whatever Helvetica font on them. We should use the whole 8-bit palette with all the wonderful colors that we have. So why not use all the colors? We'll add that later. So this is where we're at now. And while we're at it, let's just add some tiled background images because we have to have those as well. So we're at that stage now. See what's next. So throw in some images with ripple effects because that obviously was around. That was the Java ripple effect applet, which you actually have a JavaScript library to emulate that in modern browsers. Can't forget the tags, marquees. You'll see that moving in a minute. But yeah, marquees, my favorite tag ever. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the blink or the scroll to work in any of the modern browsers. I think they're completely out. So yeah, it's getting uglier by the minute. Actually, let's change it to be like this because you had to type in like this to be like a proper hacker. So let's change that. And then we need to add some animated GIFs. Need an elephant in there. Yeah, GIFs galore. I only added one to save your eyes, but normally you would have much more. Obviously cannot forget JavaScript alerts. Pop-ups, aren't they cool? So many of them, like leading to pop-up hell, as we all remember from the good old days. We should probably stick some links to some Gopher. That was a document distribution protocol, very popular at the time. So I've stuck a link here to the weather forecast from the University of Illinois, which still publishes it on Gopher. It's pretty much one of the very few links I could find still. Can't leave the website without knowing who's been to our website, so we need a counter. Totally need a counter. There's a lot of them to choose from. And then we should probably also stick some WAV files in the background to play us music, but because we don't have music here, I figured I'll save you from that. Or that, yeah. 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 Play it in Winamp as well. So now we have to garnish it in our favorite browser recommendation window. So best viewed in Netscape or IE. Not like you had much other choice, but you know. So I think we're done. That was it. There wasn't any source control back then, so we don't have to commit anywhere. There was no Git, no SVN. SVN, I think, was 2000. Yeah, Git was 2005. Yeah, we could do C. I think CVS was also later. It definitely wasn't. Was it? Was it 1995? Okay. Well, okay. We should have put it under CVS. My bad. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Not much in terms of source control. Now, we need to upload our website. So actually memes didn't exist in 1995 either, so I don't know how people lived or how people communicated. So yeah, gotta upload the website somewhere. This is the next step, so we have to wait now 30 seconds to connect. This is actually, I have to give a shout out to Dave Tibbs, who's transcribed this perfectly. I thought this was genius.
I thought it was the crazy frog when I saw it.
No, who knows what is this? Dial-up, right? So yeah, we're connected now. Got uploaded somewhere, but FileZilla wasn't around either. So FileZilla was 2001. We just gotta go old school and use FTP on the command line to try and upload that stuff online. And as a bonus, for bonus points, we can add our website to GeoCities. That's what you used to do back then. Assuming we've done that. The website is actually live on this URL, so we can go and click it. Actually, I have a lot of, I think these should start animating. There's more of them. Even more. There we go. I think that's all of them. So if I go in here, and you can actually open this website. So you can see, oh God. So yeah, that's the alert. And if you hover over this, you've got a map to the pub. So let's go to the pub. That is all for me. Yeah, that's its full glory. This was actually inspired by my actual first website, which is, hang on. That was genuinely my first website I've ever done. It's horrible. But look at the frames. Look at all that glorious ugliness. Anyway.
Don't you just miss it?
Yep. Thank you.